Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty World War II video. Today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to get more headshots fast and easy, of course, to unlock the gold camo, the diamond camo, and there is a rumor about a secret camo being a chrome camo or exclusive zone from Cod Ww2 or something like that. I'm not really sure about that, but you're guaranteed to be able to get gold and diamond with these tips, so you guys definitely should enjoy today's video. If you guys can drop a like on this thing, 2,000 likes would be amazing. I know this will be a helpful video. I have a lot of tips written down here, and of course subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and smash that like button. Let's get right into this. So in this game there isn't that many camos as of right now, especially for multiplayer, and a lot of the camos are very lame. However, the gold camo in this game does look fairly good on certain weapons, and the diamond I definitely think looks really good on certain weapons. Of course on other weapons it is dull, but that's just how it goes. I do think it is worth grinding for, and today's tips are going to be about getting headshots, because for most of the guns you need to get 100 headshots for the first part of the multiplayer camos to unlock the next set, which then leads you into the gold. And of course if you get gold on every single gun in that section, so if you get gold on every single submachine gun, you have diamond SMGs. If you get gold for every rifle, you now have diamond rifles. That's just how it works. Pretty straightforward, but the headshots is the most, the hardest part of it for most of them. Of course it's different for snipers, it's one-shot kills and stuff like that, but I'm focused main on the main guns, and headshots can be the difficult part. So I have a bunch of different tips here to help you get them. First of all, let's talk about the game mode. Now, for the game mode here, there's a big debate between hardcore and core. Now, hardcore is obviously better because most of the time in hardcore, it will be a one bullet to the head, so you only have to hit one bullet and you're getting that free headshot counting, but in core, it could be 2 or 3 bullets to the head. However, in my personal opinion, I find hardcore to be a lot more frustrating of a game mode because of how fast you die. So, of course, this is personal preference. You can get it done in core or hardcore. Me, personally, I'm about halfway to my diamond SMGs right now, and I've just been going for it casually, but when I do go for it, I can get them done fairly quickly, and when I have diamond SMGs, of course, I'll be making a video on that and then going for diamond rifles and all that sort of stuff. But as of core or hardcore, it's all up to personal preference, and the game modes you're going to want to stick to are pretty much TDM, free-for-all, or domination, but I think TDM and free-for-all are 100% the best. Free-for-all is good because a lot of the times people are fighting each other, and you can come in and be that third man into the fight and be able to pick them off with that headshot. That's why I like to do free-for-all. TDM obviously has a lot of casual players because it's at the top of the list. Every single year TDM is the most casual game mode, so you can sneak up on some newbies and get some free headshots. And domination, while a lot of people are playing the objective, you can come from the side or from up top or a vantage point on them and be able to pick them off for that free headshot. So that's as far as the game modes. As far as the next tip, it all comes down to crosshair placement. Now, of course, if you're going to be going for headshots, you're not going to be doing as well as if you're tryharding in the game, because of course sometimes you're going to die because you're aiming for the head instead of the body. That's just how it goes. So if you're accepting that you're going to go for these camos and headshots full-heartedly, you have to understand you're not going to be getting the best score lines every game. Now with your crosshair placement, normally when you're running around, you want to keep it around their mid-range. You want to spray them down at the chest. But if you're going for this, you need your crosshair placement to be sort of around their neck area, and that's good about picking people off of head glitches, or even just when you see people. If you have that crosshair placement a little bit higher, you are way more likely to get a headshot. And especially with why I say to aim for the neck area is because I recommend not running grip on your weapons, so that you can let the recoil naturally take you up to a headshot. And that's why you'll notice a lot of the guns like the Thompson or the WW2 that have a bunch of recoil, you'll get a bunch of free headshots when you're not even trying to, because the recoil will just take you up to the head. And that's why I say aiming for the neck or the shoulders area and letting the recoil take you to a headshot, especially in core game modes, because it will take a couple shots to kill them. And hardcore, you could miss a headshot because of that, but that's definitely a tip that I would give. As far as having the no grip on your gun, I think that's definitely a helpful way to get free headshots even when you messed up your aim a little bit. And as far as other stuff with the class setup, with rifles in this game, there is high caliber, which basically allows your headshots to do more damage. So that is the obvious pick that is not available on submachine guns, but for rifles, that is of course 100% the obvious pick. If you're going for headshots, you need to be rocking that. And I also said to run no grip. As far as other things in the class setup, I recommend running with a stun grenade. Now, the reason for this is you're going for headshots, you want the enemies to be, not facing you one-on-one, because those gunfights are tough if you're only aiming for the head. So how you do do this is you want to be flanking the enemies. You want to be running some sort of a stealth suppressor class if you can on the SMGs. Of course, rifles, you can't use a suppressor. And your stun grenade is so that if you do see an enemy, maybe you see a little blip on the radar, right? You toss a stun grenade up there. I believe the stun grenades are called the British N69 tactical grenade in this game. And you hit them with that stun grenade, which has a huge 10-meter blast radius. And then you can walk over, take your time, line up your shot, and be able to get that headshot. And that is a classic way to be able to get more headshots. Now, of course, you only get one stun grenade per life. There are some other basic trainings which can allow you to either replenish your grenades or to run multiple grenades of those, and I think those could be good. However, I definitely recommend, if you're playing TDM or free-for-all and you're not playing domination, I recommend running the basic training perk Ordnance, which is basically hardline and allows you to get your UAV and your counter UAV in about 4 kills, even less if, you know, there's some sort of objective there, if it's kill confirmed, something like that. But in TDM or free-for-all, it's going to be about 4 kills, and that's not even including assists and stuff like that. And you run Ordnance with the UAV and the counter UAV, and the reason for that is when you're going for headshots, kill streak kills, grenade kills, those aren't going to help you on your journey to headshots, so you need to run a UAV and a counter recon. So basically, you call in that UAV, you have positioning over the enemies, and when you do that, you can play tactfully and be able to flank them. And 100% the game style that you want to play and the gameplay that you want to play is flanking the enemies. You don't want to be facing them straight up unless you're challenging things on head glitches. So for example, let's say this map Gibraltar here. This gameplay here was just a normal gameplay. I already had all my headshots completed, and I was going for the kills with the different division, which honestly, all the challenges after you do the headshots are very, very simple, especially for the SMGs, so I wouldn't really worry about that. They can be a bit more difficult with the other class weapons, but the headshots is the thing where people will get caught up on. So for a playstyle with a rifle, I would recommend posting up on a head glitch and challenging where other people are in a head glitch. So for example, on this map, if you were playing with, say, the STG, you'd want to stay around that top middle area, around those bricks, and be able to aim down sights and wait for people to show up on the areas where only their head is poking out, and you can get those free headshots. But with an SMG and the ability to run with a silencer, I always recommend running the flank routes, coming up behind them, and being able to take people out. As people in this game are not, especially in the game modes that I said to play, those people are not going to be the most aware, especially if you're running a silencer and some sort of stealthy class setup. You're going to be able to come up behind them, and basically if the enemies are not looking at you, headshots should be very, very simple. Another thing I want to say is it can be frustrating going for the head every single time. So if you guys are worried about, like, honestly, you could play the game where if you see an enemy straight in front of you and it's a normal gunfight, you take that gunfight and just try to kill them, and then whenever you have a kill where you have an advantageous position over them from the flank or from, you know, behind or the side, that's when you could go for the headshot. It's all up to you how hard you want to do it. Of course, you just play naturally, you're going to get headshots, but it's going to be very, very, very slow, to be honest. To get 100 headshots, you're probably going to have to get, if you're just doing it naturally, probably around like 2,000 kills with the weapon. That's of course because in Call of Duty, aiming down sights is, you know, at the chest area is where you do a good amount of damage and where you can hit the target most of the time. So if you don't want to use 2,000 kills with each of the guns and let the headshots come in naturally, I recommend using these tips, making a proper class setup, heading into either core or hardcore, into TDM, free-for-all. Free-for-all is my favorite, then TDM, and then domination as the third choice, and getting these headshots done. Now you will find that it will hit your KD a little bit. It will, you know, get frustrating sometimes when you see an enemy, you go for the head, and they kill you when you know you could have killed them if you were shooting for the body. But that's how it goes, and grinding out these headshots is probably the best way to do it. You can easily get them done in about an hour or two with each gun. If you're aiming for the head, you can definitely do that in free-for-all, an hour or two with each gun, and I definitely don't think that is that much time to put in if you're using these class setups. So the challenges in this game are a lot easier than in Infinite Warfare. As you guys may remember, it was about 160 headshots for certain things. In this game, it's only 100, which I think is how it should be. The challenges in this game work like how they did in Black Ops 3, and I remember Black Ops 3, I had Dark Matter in like December because that camo was epic. I'm hoping they unveil some sort of a secret camo for more motivation to get all these headshots down, but as of right now, your motivation is the gold camo, which is okay. It looks kind of bad on certain guns. It depends what variant you have with it, and the variant can affect the camos also. So, you know, be skeptical when you see people posting because they could have a variant on, but the diamond camo, from what I've seen on certain guns, like the Thompson, it looked very, very good. And I've seen other situations where the diamond looked kind of crappy, but that's the one that I'm grinding for. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video. These tips will help you to get these headshots done very quickly, and definitely follow these tips, get these headshots done, unlock those camos if that is what you're into. So thanks for watching, guys. Please drop a like if you made it to the end. 2,000 likes would be amazing. Sub for a cookie and don't looky, and I'm out. Peace.